It's officially been a year today since it's become illegal to text and drive here in Oklahoma. We covered this extensively as our state was one of the very last to ban it, 46 to actually be exact. So joining us now to talk about the past 365 days is Oklahoma Highway Patrol Captain Paul Timmons. Thank you so much for being with us here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
From a law enforcement perspective, how has this worked for us the past year?
I think we've seen some changes. There's some challenges when it comes to enforcing that law, but we spent about a month before it went into effect actually trying to get the word out, educating people about, it's coming, so get ready for it. And then when it did go into effect, we actually started a huge campaign with enforcement just to show that we were as serious about it as we had said that we were. So education, enforcement are key components to that law.
What are some of the challenges that you were alluding to in enforcing this no texting and driving ban?
Well, number one, if you drive a marked police unit, people see you coming.
Sure.
So they put the phone down. So that's one of the challenges. And no one is going to openly admit to being on a cell phone if they're involved in an accident or whatever, being distracted or whatever. So those are a couple of the challenges. So we kind of have to find different ways to go about trying to enforce that law, and I think our troopers do a good job of it.
And want to talk numbers too. In the past 365 days, how many people have been pulled over or even cited because of texting while they're behind the wheel?
Well, I don't have specific numbers on it, and to be honest with you, I'd really rather not say because I have not had a chance to look at the numbers.
Okay, and sticking with numbers, if you look back to 2013, I found that drivers distracted by electronic devices, phones, tablets, right here in Oklahoma were involved in 14 fatal crashes and 602 injury crashes. Have you seen a decline this year, a visible decline?
Again, that's one of those deals that I would have to check the numbers through our highway safety office. They kind of track that information, and being that we've had so much going on the last couple of days, I haven't really had a chance to contact them to gather that information.
Captain, let me ask you about this. When I was talking to people about this law before it went into effect, some people called it a little bit hypocritical because they say law enforcement, they're the most distracted drivers of all. They have the computers, they're always on the phone, they have the sirens, they have everything in the car. They're the most distracted out of all of us. What would you say to those drivers out there?
Well, different agencies have different policies in effect for the use of those electronic devices as well. And, there are consequences, just like, with citizens that drive. If they violate those policies of their agency's department, then there are consequences that they have to face for violating those policies by the use of those electronic devices. So we make sure that our troopers are aware of what our policy is and that, they adhere to that policy.
So are you allowed to text and drive?
No.
Okay.
No.
And for people who are watching right now, maybe they've just moved here, they don't know that this law has taken effect. What do they need to know? Is there any point, can you use your phone when the car is stopped? What's the fine if you get caught for texting while driving? What are the main bullet points here?
The way the law is written, it's illegal for you to send or receive electronic messages while the car is in motion. Now, people say that, I can pull up to a stop sign or a stop light and check a message or send a message. And that's true technically the way the law is written, as long as the car is not in motion. Going down the road trying to read a text message or respond to a text message, that's a distraction, and it's against the law.
Do you think people are really taking this seriously, especially the younger crowd who's generally known for texting or using social media, Snapchatting while driving? Do you think that they're taking this seriously?
Well, I think that everybody has their own idea about how good of a driver they are until they're involved in a situation to where that form of distraction comes into play, and then they actually find out they're not as good or not as experienced of a driver as they think they are. And I think that from a law enforcement perspective, we have to continue to educate the driving public on the consequences of being a distracted driver. So it's key for us as law enforcement to educate people on what can happen, because when bad things happen, the first thing most people say is, I can't believe this happened to me. But you put yourself in a situation like that, something bad is liable to happen.